Many people have asked if I can share my vocal presets. Some people have even offered to buy them off of me. I get it. Mixing vocals is frustrating. Sometimes the recording sounds muddy or your voice just doesn't sit right in the mix. Getting a vocal preset from someone who has experience in mixing makes the process so much easier because now all you have to do is plop the preset and boom, you're done. But what if I told you this solution isn't really a solution, it's more like a band-aid on a bigger problem? Mixing isn't black and white. There's no right or wrong way to mix a vocal. There's only what you think sounds good and doesn't sound good. If slapping the same vocal preset for every song sounds good to you, then by all means, keep slapping. Nobody's gonna stop you. But what you have to remember is that every song and vocal performance is different. Listen to these two songs.
But I hope you'll hear this.
Yes, these are my songs. Shameless plug. But my point still stands that these two songs are distinctly different in the vocal performance and instrumental. The vocals in the first song are soft with an acoustic instrumental. The vocals in the second song are louder with more drums and instruments going on in the background. Even though the vocal mix in both of these songs are very clean and sound super similar, they've been mixed differently because of the differences in vocal performance and instrumental. Different instrumentals and vocal performances introduce unique circumstances for every song that you need to adjust for. For example, in an acoustic song where there's no heavy bass, you might want to keep some low end in your voice to fill out the sound. However, if a song has a super heavy bass line, keeping the low end in your voice might make it sound muddy because of the clashing low end of the instrumental and the vocals. On top of that, if you're screaming at the top of your lungs in one vocal performance and singing softly in the next, the difference in dynamic range might call for some harsher compression in one vocal performance over the other. It's for this reason that I don't recommend you buy vocal presets either. I could probably make a decent amount of extra cash selling vocal presets, but I'd be lying if I said my vocal presets would work as well on your voice as they would on mine. My voice is different than yours, and more than likely we don't use the same microphone or have similar recording environments. All of these factors affect the frequencies and dynamic range present in our recordings, so it doesn't make sense to use the same presets when it isn't the same situation every time. Think of it like this. A doctor doesn't prescribe the same medication for every patient because everyone and their situation is unique. An audio engineer shouldn't mix the exact same in every situation for the same reason. So then, what should you do? Practice, practice, practice. Getting a good vocal mix definitely takes time to get right, but the sooner you start practicing your mixing, the more familiar you get with what sounds good. It took me years to get to the point that I'm at with my vocal mixing, and I'm still improving every time I make a new song. But if you really don't want to spend the time learning how to mix, find an engineer who does. There's no shame in asking for help. Luckily, unlike a doctor, you can't get sued for using the exact same vocal presets for different songs. So if you're satisfied with your presets, then by all means continue using them. But if you feel like your vocal mix doesn't sound as good as it possibly could, consider dropping the preset and try to tweak things yourself. If you're feeling like you want to take on that challenge, check out this video about how to mix your vocals in FL Studio to help you get started. Thank you so much for watching, and show your genius.